Hello, welcome back again to our YouTube channel. This is the platform where we talk on things that matters in our lives, things that affects us within our communities, be it political, be it cultural, be it social. This platform was mainly created with the purpose of creating awareness on important things that affect both men and women, children, regardless of the age. So that is why in most occasions when you visit this platform, you'll hear things that actually no one else speaks about, because people fear speaking about these things out of fear of discrimination or any other thing. But we say it as it is. So welcome back. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. And as we continue to develop it bit by bit until we reach our target. So in today's episode, I'm going to cover something small, and my wish is that the video will be a little bit shorter compared to the other videos. Today I speak as a father, I speak as an uncle, I speak as a brother to ladies. And this video has been highly inspired by the BBC expose that I happened to have watched yesterday, and I believe it is trending across the social media and the national media platforms. What we must realize is that as a man or as a mother within your homestead, your female children and yourself is at a high risk of exploitation by people without appreciation to social values. These are people whom we consider sexual predators, because what they want is to sleep around with the ladies and then at the end of the day get away with it freely. And I do not blame them alone. I also blame the courts. I also blame the law, because our constitution is very, very, very clear on matters sexual harassment or sex without consent. It has come to our realization that in our country today, for you to get an employment opportunity, especially if you are a lady, you must offer something in return, of which this should not be the case. As much as you are qualified, you've attained all the requirements as per the constitution, you are supposed to get an opportunity to be employed anywhere without sexual expectation. Because yesterday we noticed that there are a number of women in Kericho County, to be specific, the ladies working in our tea farms, and that is specifically under the company Unilever, who have been identified to have had to offer sex in return for their opportunity to work with the companies. Mark you, the companies are very strict when it comes to sexual harassment. Within their policies, they have indicated a zero tolerance to sexual harassment. Yet the high-profile persons within the managerial platforms are the ones who are forcing our young ladies, our women, our children into sexual activities without consent. And even if you refuse, several cases of rape have been recorded within the tea farms, and no one has been speaking about this. Under the Constitution, for one to be brought before a court of law, charged and jailed, there are two main things that have to be considered, because there are such activities, rape and sex without consent is considered a criminal offense. We have the mens rea, which generally deals with the mental aspects of the person who committed the offense. The mens rea looks at the aim or the motive of the person. Did the person pre-plan such activity before engaging in it? Then we have the actus reus. Actus reus asks whether did the person go ahead to do whatever thing that he had planned. And yes, all these things were present in the presented cases. This fact then leads to the belief that the people who committed such atrocities should be behind bars. Let me ask you a question. Do we really understand the consequences of sex without consent? As a man who commits this offense, definitely you will feel okay, because it is a 16 seconds pleasure that you will get with this, because at the end of the day, you will never be satisfied by one woman once you start craving for sex. But what is the long-term consequences of this on your female counterpart when you afflict this pain on them? Remember, there are families that relate to this woman. There is a husband who relates to this woman. What about her mental health? Because if a person forces you to do something that you don't wish to do, then your mental health will be highly compromised. This is something that you live with. Sometimes you see a woman back and you look at a lady and she's not thinking straight, but she has to keep her job because maybe at home she's the only person who is being looked upon by the entire family for daily sustenance. What does this tell you? We are likely to start recording a high number of suicide cases among these women. We are highly to record a high number of depression cases among these women. And this is not only happening in the tea factory alone. We've had several cases, even in Nairobi, the industrial area, managers deciding to have sex with their employees without their consent, and it happens within the company. And if you report this, there's no one who is taking this action. Remember, the women are very vulnerable, very, very vulnerable. As much as we say men are also vulnerable, and as much as we complain that there are a lot of activists supporting women protection, women are very vulnerable. And also to you women, I'll ask you a simple question. Anytime, regardless of your status, regardless of your poverty state, anytime a man asks you for sexual advances in exchange for job, what initiatives are you supposed to take? The first thing that you're supposed to do is to protect your moral standards. Say no, because at the end of the day, this is not the only work opportunity that you'll get. You'll get other work opportunities. I know that you need the opportunity as much as the next person. But what if it compromises your health? For instance, all the women who had been abused or who had sexually engaged with the managers in the tea plantations, all of them have recorded HIV positive cases. Then what happens? These diseases are transferred to your husbands at home. Then what happens after that? It becomes a vicious cycle. It becomes a vicious cycle. The most painful part is that the women working in these farms know that this thing is happening, and they are still letting their daughters also to work in the farms. I know some will say that they do not have the options, but a man sleeps with you, then goes ahead to sleep with your daughter. You clearly know that you've been infected by HIV. Then you let your daughter also to pass through the same route. Let us be responsible, because it really pains me personally. I said, as a father, as a brother, as a husband, as an uncle, it really pains me. I don't know if it hurts you the same way, but it really pains me. Because if this is the trend that is going to continue, and in fact, it is very common in the social media platforms, you'll say, in fact, if I graduate today and I take a photo with 3 ladies, assuming we are 2 men in the photo, someone will definitely ask down there, who is going to get a job opportunity among the graduates? Then the people will directly point at the very beautiful lady within the photo. And why is this? Because our employment standards have become, our employment criteria have nowadays decided to uptake sex as one of the main components. So as long as you can offer sex, but you do not have the brains, then it means that you're going to be employed. Think about this. This is not to say that the men are bad. This is not to say that the women are bad. but we want a responsible society. We are fighting against HIV/AIDS. We are fighting against gonorrhea. And as a healthcare professional, I've seen the consequences that comes. I don't know. One day you should just decide to visit maybe a ward with the people on their final stages of HIV, where the cancer and all the other diseases, the opportunistic infection, the TB, where they come in. Once you see this, I think you will be enlightened and try as much as possible to safeguard yourself. Because nowadays, the funny part is that people say cancer is worse than HIV. No, it is only that HIV is currently manageable. But cancer's management is slightly off, or it's a bit away from us as at now. Let us be responsible persons, because whatever thing that is happening today is something that you won't wish. You'd rather stay jobless than affect or kill your career because of sexual advances. A single day thing or a single night thing that is going to destroy your life forever. Let us just try as much as possible to stay away from these sex predators. So in case you missed or you've not watched the video, I'll put the link up there. Up there, so that you can at least what it's discouraging, for real. It is discouraging. And also our young men are being sodomized, and no one is speaking about this. There are a lot of cases of sodomization today, and no one is speaking about this. So we need to look at these things very closely, and we need to speak about these things. No matter what the consequences might be, we need to speak about these things, because at the end of the day, they get sodomized, they get infected, and then some of them now decide, I was raped by my uncle, or I was sodomized by my uncle, now I've decided to become a homosexual. Let us look at this thing from different spheres. Let us try as much as possible. As parents, let us try as much as possible to know whatever thing that is happening in our children's life, no, regardless of their gender. Please look into the things that are happening in your child's life. Look at the people who work with your children, and trust me, the people who rape our children, the people who sodomize our boys, are not people unknown to us. These are people who visit us as friends. These are people who visit us as families. I hope this short video shows you something. I think you've gotten a picture of whatever thing that is happening. And continue subscribing to our channel. May God bless you and may God protect all of us. Thank you.